Hello, Bean. Bean, will you do the intro? Will you say welcome to the Unhinged Library?
Munchin' and sippin'. This is like sippin' yap right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
How are you today?
This is not wine. It is fancy European soda, except it's store brand, so it's really not fancy.
It tastes like wine, though.
It does.
It does taste like wine. I am drinking Celsius because I am a procrastination queen.
Yeah, you've done some procrastinating this week,
This
haven't
month,
you?
just this month in general, I feel like it's just because it's been like a rough month and like mood-wise, like work's been a little bit frustrating.
It has just been rough for everyone. Like, I had a mental breakdown last week, so there's that. That's great.
Yeah, and then like stressful, like, I mean, I'm worried about my mom's surgery coming up, but like stressing about like, I have to sleep at my mom's house for 3 days. I love you, Mom. I don't think you listen to this. I love you. But like, I'd sleep at my mom's house for 3 days. I'm a grown adult that does want to do that. So like just that kind of stuff. So tomorrow is our book club and we are going to be discussing Onyx Storm. And last month, so normally for the book club, I do like a Google Forms where we have like questions that we answer and we send it out, and then people who are at home can answer it, and then we can like talk about their answers too, because we do like a Facebook Live on our like little Facebook group and stuff. And then last month I started doing a slideshow, which was really cool to go over the questions, because
We're trying to open it up more as a discussion rather than just like, this is what I said.
I don't remember what I said on the poll. What did I say?
Yeah.
Which I get it, because I used to send the poll out like a week or two after like the first meetup, so like a month before almost. Now sometimes I don't even like send it out until that day.
Yeah.
So that way it's like kind of fresh in our minds if we do it. So, and sometimes it's because I'm a procrastination queen.
That's fine.
And so tonight I need to make the questionnaire and do that. Which truthfully I want to do a series on my Instagram. So if you don't follow my Instagram, follow my Instagram. Of like how I do the questionnaires, because I have just like mock ones built up. Some for like romance, thriller that are just like basic questions, and then you can go in and add more questions to make your life half as easy. And and thankfully like this series is so big, so there's so much online.
Yeah.
I don't have to think as hard of like the one book we read, which hey, the person who recommended it knows it's not my favorite book. It was like, Where Has Charlotte Salter Gone or something like that. No one's ever read that book. So there was like no questions on the internet for me to try to like, I was trying to come up with some myself, but again, I'm learning. I've never been in a book club, so it's hard to like try to figure out questions to ask people. So thank you, Google.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's what I gotta do tonight. So like, energy drink. I did reviews at work.
Wonderful. I need to put my hair back because like you can't see my face and it's driving me a little bit crazy. That's better.
Today's snack, cowboy caviar.
A favorite here.
Literally, I love cowboy caviar.
She will just come over sometimes and be like, I know we weren't planning on it, but can you make me cowboy caviar? And then we go to the grocery store.
And her cowboy caviar is super good. The one time I was at home and I was really craving it, and I told my husband, I was like, I really want cowboy caviar, and I wanted to make it. I was gonna text you and ask you like how to make it. He's like, just buy it. I got stuck with this bean salsa. It wasn't even cowboy caviar, because there's not cowboy caviar at the store. I got bean salsa. It was okay. Salsa was okay, but that wasn't what I wanted. It hit a little bit of the edge. So yeah, we're trying to change format here. So please let us know if you guys like how we're gonna change the structure of this podcast. We're gonna try not to do so much of a deep dive into things and go too spoiler heavy, so that way if you have not read the books, you would still still follow them. Yeah. And if you don't like this format, or like have different suggestions or things you want us to cover, let us know.
Yeah. Also, like, we're not attached to the setup. I may not even live here in a few months, so we may have a different recording space.
Yeah.
No matter what.
We're also like changing a little bit of the setup. I broke the mirror light, the ring light, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. So this lighting, honestly, I think is a little bit better for.
I kind of like this because like we can actually look at each other too.
Bye. Alright, so today we figured we were going to talk about our reads so far this year. Because we are filming this February 27th.
Happy birthday, Nick! It's Nick's birthday.
Happy birthday! And I'm going to post this February 28th, which normally I don't do a quick turnaround like this, but we have a lot of episodes filmed that we've covered of books.
That are like deep dive episodes.
Yeah, deep dive episodes. Like we were originally going to post Serpents of the Wings at Night next, and that series we were going to cover next, which we still have the videos. It's not like I'm going to delete the videos. And we have like Icebreaker, we have that whole series. So if you guys are interested in that, comment below, comment the book names, and we will post those if you're interested. If you're not interested, I'm just going to like hold them in my computer until maybe one day we decide to like just leave them.
Between the two of us, we have probably read almost every popular book talk book.
Yeah, mostly. There's a couple that we're just like not into the vibe.
Yeah, I don't like Why Choose, so like anything Why Choose I'm not gonna read.
I've read a couple of them. They're not like my favorite. I mean, they're not horrible, but some of them I just really can't get down.
You know, on both ends, it's not just the like, oh, why would a girl want to stress herself out with two dudes? But I genuinely feel like it would be just very stressful for everybody in that situation. And I don't understand why anybody would want to put themselves in that situation. Nothing against like Polly, but also like I don't get it, and I'm never going to.
I'm too possessive. Which, if, like, the song, I don't know if you've seen my one, Miss Possessive, that just came out by Tate McRae, that's literally me. Like, don't look at him. No, that's mine.
I wanted to fight a girl because I thought she was dancing on Jeff, and he's like, she's too free to away from me. I was drinking at the time. I was, like, ready to fight her.
Catch me outside.
I wasn't even working out. I probably would have got my ass kicked, but I would have done something.
But it would have felt good.
Yeah.
Felt real good.
I would have had the element surprise, and I would have capitalized on that.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple books, too, that, like, I think mostly, like, we really have read a lot of the popular books.
I think we've read most of them between the two of us.
If one of us has, and the other one probably has.
Yeah. Because, like, again, the big one that I'm thinking that I know you haven't read yet is From Blood and Ash.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, yeah, I've read Powerless, you've read Twisted Crown series, so, like, which, I mean, I didn't finish Powerless, but, like, just different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Emily Henry, I have not delved into Emily Henry. I do have some Emily Henry books, like, I think I have Beach Read, but I haven't actually read her.
Some.
Well, I'm not buying any of your Emily Henry. I am only allowed to buy 2 books a month. That is my new thing that I've been committing to.
Actually, I was just going to put that stack up on the counter tomorrow and be like, if anybody wants these.
Feel free. Yeah, might as well. Give a book.
Yes, baby.
Are any of you guys in book clubs too? Because if you're in book clubs, I'd like to know like some different ideas. We're trying to change our book club up this year too. I have a brain fart. I don't remember what we were saying before.
That between the two of us,
oh yes,
we have probably read every popular book.
Pretty much.
Unless like the ones that like just came out.
Yeah, there's a couple that just came out that I haven't read. There's a couple of like the dark romance ones too that I'm starting to read more, but I haven't read too many of those.
We were gonna cover Hunting and Haunting Adeline. We might not cover it, but I'm still gonna listen to them because I have the audio. I got them on Audible, and Hannah needs my reactions. You might meet Hannah in one of these videos.
Maybe
we might
soon.
Might do something with her soon.
We might have guest appearances, so if you're friends too,
that would be fun.
I mean, you never know.
I tried inviting Chelsea to book club, but because she read Onyx Storm and she like really liked it. So I told her that's what we're talking about in book club, and she's like, "Oh, I would actually like come and talk about it." But they left for Virginia this morning for my brother's birthday trip. So
maybe tomorrow. It's not going to go in the episode because I'm going to post this before book club.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll do like a little cameo in our like book club. Maybe I'll prop us up in like something. Who knows? If everyone's chill with being on camera a little bit, who sees?
Bean.
Not actually like having them.
Jelly bean. Enough.
She's in her menace mode today.
She doesn't like that we're not sitting on the couch.
I know.
She doesn't like the setup.
Well, Bean, once you want to start editing and get better lighting for us, we will always sit on the couch.
Bean, once you find us a new apartment.
Yes. Once you build us a podcast studio, Bean, anywhere you want, just tell us. We'll sit there and yap.
I'm pretty sure if I move back into my dad's and I tell him I'm going to need like a space to record, he's going to be like, we'll go do something.
Oh yeah, I know he would.
He's like, what do you need? Do you need this?
You can have whatever you like. No, I mean, there's a lot of good books that we still... I want to read more indie authors. I think that's a goal of mine this year. Like a little bit more
I never
like
know
small.
when I'm actually reading indie authors or not. Because, like, I feel like it's very hard to, like, find out if somebody's actually indie.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Because, like...
Everyone says they're indie.
Well, it's not even that everyone says they're indie. It's just, like, I'll read books that I know nobody else I know has read, and I'm like, is this an indie author? Is this why? Especially with Kindle Unlimited. Because, like, I don't know what is, like, a traditional publish anymore, or what is an indie with Kindle Unlimited. I assume a lot of the free ones on the Stuff Your Kindle days are probably indie authors, but I even then, I don't really know. I don't know how, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing a ton of research.
No.
I read these to escape life and not think about anything or have a lot of work to do, so.
I want the basic understanding, and that's it.
Yeah. Even
Like-
then, I'll usually, like, I will pick books because I see cool fan art, and I'm like, I want to know what that's about.
Yep. Sometimes like, mafia romance. Okay. Sold. Or it's like someone that I really like on Instagram likes it. I'm like, alright, I'll try it. I'll try it. It'll be fun. That's how I actually read one of these books on this in like last month. Okay, but yeah. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to go like back and forth? Because some of these books we both have read, and then we can just do it that way.
Yeah.
So my first one, which was one of our podcast episodes from this year, was Quicksilver.
Yep.
Was my first book this year. I did that at 5-star.
So, my first book this year, I think I only gave it like a 2-star. 2 or 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. Filthy Witch Fae. Kind of wish I skipped it. I read it because it was free on Libby and like available on Libby right away. And I saw like everybody was talking about like Filthy Rich Vampires for a little bit. And it's like basically, I don't know if it's the same book because I haven't read it. And like it kind of made me not want to read it.
It looks the same cover though, because I think I've seen it on
It's the same
Libby.
author and everything. And I'm like, I didn't know what to expect, but it just wasn't my favorite. It wasn't too memorable for me. Granted, I also read a ton in January, so...
Yeah. You were crazy reading in January. Yeah. So, what was your next read in January?
Lights Out, which we were talking about covering for this, because I wanted to DNF it halfway through, because I'm like, okay, it literally just dropped the plot. Like, you get halfway into the book, and that plot that you started with has dissolved, because it's resolved already, and they just throw something in, and then, like, they also threw it in to make it so they could have a sequel, and I'm like, if you would have just left this a standalone with what it was, I would have enjoyed it, because the banter was great, like, I liked the characters. I didn't like that it almost felt, like, to me that book felt like a cash grab at that point.
It was, like, a very, like, wet patty, like, very just, like, an easy, quick one. I don't actually remember what I gave that. I want to say I gave it like 4 stars because I did finish it. It was on Hoopla for free, available one time. So
yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Again, I liked the characters. I liked it like just for what it was. If they wouldn't have thrown in the mob thing and like tried to like set it up for a sequel, which I don't feel like it needs. Like,
I don't either.
Standalones are great. Please.
Yeah.
Make things standalones if they're meant to be standalone.
Standalones are fun too because again, palate cleansers.
Yes.
We like a standalone.
We do.
You can have a fun, spicy standalone. And it can be a standalone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like the brother needs to have his own sequel. Because that is a lot of series nowadays. So, I don't know. My next 2 books, I definitely know you've got some in between. So, why don't you go for another one? Okay, we'll go for what I got then, since we're mid chewing and yapping. My next book that I read was Fourth Wing, which it was a reread, so I could get ready for Onyx Storm coming out, which obviously you could probably figure out my next read after that. But yeah, I gave Fourth Wing a 4-star again.
So then I read Stolen Air by Sophie Lark. I like Sophie Lark. She's one of those authors that, like, I don't know if she's decisive or not, but, like, you either like her writing or you don't. So, Stolen Air, I believe it's the second in... No, I don't want to remove it. I want to view it. Yeah, it's the second one in the Brutal Birthright series. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. Like, it definitely had some Beauty and the Beast vibes, which we love.
I love Beauty and the Beast.
But it's just, again, it's mafia. It's fun. It's an easy book.
Yep.
And then after that was when I did Quicksilver, when we covered it. I like Quicksilver. We both. I
like Quicksilver.
There's an episode of our feelings on Quicksilver.
I comfort read it now for like when I go to bed.
I'm waiting to reread it until the next one comes out.
Just because I listen to books when I fall asleep, so I listen to ones that make me happy. A lot of it's Throne of Glass.
Yeah. I'm working on getting all the audiobooks on that.
Yeah. I have from Air of Fire to the end on Apple Books.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I really want to buy the other ones on like Audible with my credits. That's what I've been kind of debating with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know if I want to have them on 2 different apps or if I just want to like suck it up one day and just buy them all on Apple Books. Because obviously I have an iPhone and Apple products, so.
Yeah.
Definitely, you're probably still going because
Okay.
Iron Flame.
Well, because I can finish off that Sophie Lark series then,
Yeah,
because I
I'd
have.
say, yeah.
So after Stolen Air is. I think these are out of the order.
Because that's like another one that's like the whole series is like different people.
Yeah.
Connected.
So. Kind of. All right. So then after Stolen Air is Savage Lover. Then Bloody Heart, then Broken Vow, which is the one with the cowboy boots, which is probably the most recognizable for most people. That book got a ton of hype, worth it. And then Heavy Crown is the last one, which is like the last brother. Because like really it's the 2 families from the first book that it goes through, each of the sibling lines. And then the new ones that are coming, well, I don't know if they're new. I think the series was done and they're just getting re-released or like traditionally published finally. But it's, let me pull it up. It's another Sophie Lark series, and it's their kids. It's essentially all of the Brutal Birthright couples have kids, and it's the Kingmakers series. So they essentially get sent to this like elite school. And it's not like a traditional school. I get very much so like Wednesday vibes, where it's like the schools for like
Yeah.
yeah.
The cool kids.
Well, like how Wednesday
I
is
know,
for
yeah.
like supernatural and like
Cool kids.
yeah. But yeah, so I did that whole series this year already.
Wow.
Well, other than the first book. The first book was like I'm like, oh, it's short enough I can read it like and like have that like cap me off for the new year.
Yeah.
And then I read that too fast and I had to like read another throwaway for the new year.
For the new year. That's why I was like, I'm going to finish my year with Quicksilver and then I'm going to start my year with Quicksilver.
Solid.
So I was like, I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah.
This is so bad. Okay, so like, I am not going to hide my fact. Iron Flame is like probably my least favorite in the Empyrean series.
Same.
I know a lot of people have opinionated feelings about Onyx Storm, things like that, but that is my least favorite book to read. It took me from January 6th to January 22nd to finish that book. And I was pushing. But I give that a 4-star. So that was my next book to get ready for book club. Because then I also did Pen Pal within that time as well. Which we were going to cover Pen Pal on an episode, but Hallie DNF'd that. Cause
I did.
She just was
I was
frustrated.
annoyed by it.
Yeah. I mean, I told her the ending, which the ending does have a good twist. I will give her a little bit of that, but again, it's just a book that I've seen everyone on the internet reading, and I was like, hey, yeah.
The narrators were good.
Yeah, the narrators are good. It's just like,
not a fan.
Yeah. Again, it wasn't, I gave it 4 stars because the twist was like decent. But, alright, what else you got next?
So next I did The Crown of Oaths and Curses because I wanted to get to the second book in the series, but the first book made me kind of like lose the desire. Thank you, Bean. Yeah, we were not a big fan of it. I think I gave it 3 stars. Because, like, it wasn't bad. I wasn't. It was like everything else I'd already read.
Nothing like unique and stand out for it.
I can't even say it wasn't unique. Like, it had the bones. It just didn't do what I wanted it to do. So then I did Onyx Storm. We read it from book club. I read it as soon as it came out. I did my little videos of my midnight release party for myself as we had a giant fucking snowstorm here for it.
And my work's like, you will come to work, you live in Buffalo, get used to the snow.
Oh, my work tried to get me to come in too. I just used the sick day.
Yeah. Wayne thinks he's a Yeti or something. He's going in the snow.
He likes driving in the snow.
I know. I just sit. You want to know what I do? I sit there and I read my little books and I let him do whatever he does. Listen to my little audiobooks. Yeah, I read Onyx Storm as well. Been debating if I want to say like 4 or 4.25 stars, but I'm in that general range for my review. Like, I think it was good. I know a lot of people have issues with all the character introductions. I really didn't think it was that bad. Do I think there was a lot of character names? Yeah, but I didn't think it was as overwhelming as some people I feel like.
So something Chelsea kind of pointed out to me was Violet probably did know those people's names, but since like the whole second book, she's like, I'm not learning first year's names.
Yeah.
We just never knew them.
Literally, like, I feel like we knew who they were and we just got names to them. So, like,
yeah.
I feel like that's a big, like, critique that I've seen about that book online.
Well, because, like, again, she just throws the names at us and we're like, who is that? And then, like, you have to kind of remember she's like, oh, she said she wasn't learning first year's names.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. So that really didn't bother me that much. Like, I felt like the pace was good. I'm not upset at the ending at all.
She had a Vegas wedding. Props to her.
Not like that, but like, I don't know, everyone's all mad about it. Like, we all kind of knew the ending was
I
gonna
have conspiracy theories I want to share with you, but I don't think that's what this podcast is.
Yeah, that's not what this podcast is. If anything, that's going to be later after this podcast on our Drive Club.
Yeah. Okay, so then Iron and Embers, I think we both read.
Yes,
after
we
Onyx
both read.
Storm.
Yep.
Yep.
Fire.
Yep. 10 out of 10.
That was my favorite read, probably. Like, oh, yikes. I don't know if I can say that. I'm going to say that because technically Quicksilver I read technically in December.
Yeah. You technically read that before the new year. That's not
even though it was my starting of the year, it was just fun.
A brat, so you're going to get put in air jail.
Air jail.
Beans in air jail.
Air jail. But yeah, no, Iron and Embers was my favorite January read. And that was all my January. I only read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books.
I have a few more I can share.
I know you do. I was like, you definitely were crushing out books in January.
Well, no. No, my next ones are February. So, because Scythe and Sparrow didn't come out till February.
Alright, so why don't you...
You're ignoring it. Moving on.
Moving on. So what was your first February read?
So technically I started A Touch of Gold and Madness in January, but because Onyx Storm and Iron Flame came out, or Iron and Embers, yeah, Onyx Storm and Iron and Embers came out, I took a break and read those and then went back to Touch of Gold and Madness. But I did finish Scythe and Sparrow before that because it was an audiobook. I'm sorry.
You're good. Scythe and Sparrow, you did that on Hoopla too, right? Because I think you were the one.
Because it came right out, yeah.
Yeah, right on Hoopla. Which, weird, Butcher and Blackbird's not on there, but Leather and Lark and Scythe and Sparrow. So I told Lindsay that it was on there, and that's how she listened.
I think that's how it is on Libby too. I don't know if the library has Butcher and Blackbird yet.
I swear they did. I swear that's how I listened to it, because I did listen to the audiobook of it.
Yeah. Of all three, because like we were talking about doing an episode on Scythe and Sparrow, and I don't know if we will. There's a way to tandem read them.
Which I'll put a picture in here, because I actually screenshotted someone's thing. So I will insert my screenshot from that person's account.
I think that's really cool. I love tandem read stuff, so I like that.
Oh my gosh, maybe for like one of the 24-hour readathons or something, that'd be fun to like maybe tandem read that series.
Yeah. If we do that.
Yeah, if we do that. Honestly, I just had so much other shit going on, that's why I really haven't priced it out. And by this time, it's going to be too late for the time frame.
It's too late, because, like, there's other...
But we got other things we'll figure out eventually, but that'd be a fun, like, 24-hour one, because there's small books that you could accomplish that, because, I don't know. Anyways. So, my first one I did was Attached at the Heart. So that's a Kindle Unlimited book, and that's the third in the series. And that follows, it's like an arranged marriage between like two best friends that the one wants an inheritance and the other one's kind of been in love with the other one since the arranged marriage. That was fun. Give that a 5-star. I'd recommend that one. And then after that, so I got Iron and Embers as like a like an arc and everything. So I did the digital and I read it, and then I wanted the audiobook, so I audibled it, and then I did the audiobook of it, which the audiobook was a good time too.
Yes.
It was a good time. I love that series. I can't wait for July.
So, one of my arcs I did read was Court, Bright and Broken. I got Cinderella vibes. Well, I got Rapunzel vibes from it.
Ooh.
But I guess it's more Cinderella based. Either way, it was good. Like, they had fun banter, fun characters. It was definitely a good arc. Because, like, sometimes arcs just miss.
Yeah.
I liked it. And then I finally finished Touch Golden Madness. Because just arcs, I need the deadline. They don't have to be done by the deadline. I understand that. I feel like I have to be done by the deadline.
Yeah.
So then I finished A Touch of Golden Madness. I need somebody to read this book! I need to rant!
Alright, I can add it to my TBR.
It's worth it! It's worth it.
So you read kind of a Disney retelling, and then I actually read a Disney retelling too.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a series of it, but the first book I did was Heir of Sun and Moon, another Kindle Unlimited book. And that one's like a Rapunzel retelling, and I honestly pushed that book off for a while because it was dual point of view, but it followed two different princesses, so I didn't know like how that was going to work. But like one is Rapunzel and the other one is kind of like Belle. So she's setting it up to be like multiple different princesses. Honestly, and I've been like messaging the author about my views of it, she kind of gives me like Sarah J. Maas vibes. Not in the sense of like crazy big author, but she's tying a lot of things together, like Throne of Glass. Like all the characters are like
The story
interconnected.
interlock.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool because she's trying to, I think, like get different princesses. Like one of the ones, like a little girl in the street, her name was Merida. Like that one was like one specifically, but like I know, yeah. But
I'd read that one.
that one hasn't fully, like right now, like again it's like Rhea and then Baharia, I think is how you say it. And then I read the second book this month too, Crowns of Stars and Tides, and that one has those two, and then it starts following Ariel, and then it introduces one more at the end, and I think she's supposed to be like Mulan. That's who I feel like she's gonna be, but I don't really know. Like, she doesn't come out right and say fully, like, what princess it is, but you'll get the gist of it after a while, so.
Yeah.
Both of those books, I gave those, like, 4.25 stars. Like, those were fun. Those were a good time.
I'm pretty sure I gave A Touch of Golden Madness 5 stars.
I think you did.
I loved that. I really loved that. So it starts with A Touch of Golden Madness, and then it's not necessarily book 2, it's like a prequel, but you read it second, according to the author. I have heard, Graham, you read it second. And I've just been like waiting till I'm using a palette cleanser right now, and then I might go back into it, depending on what we read for book club, if like I'm gonna read that right away or not.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I'm excited. I like the world. Because it's different. I've already ranted to you about this book a lot.
Like, very vaguely, but enough. So I don't know, like, the whole thing, but, like, I've got a general concept.
Because it's just different. Instead of it just being, like, just elemental magic, or, like, essentially just being able to do whatever they want, they have elemental magic, but on top of it, they have, like, all of the energies can also be a magical source, and that, like, when you think about, like, infrared energy as, like, a power, I'm a nerd. I love all that stuff, so I love it.
I want to teleport.
I also want to teleport.
I just want to teleport. Like, you can give me all the add-ons. I just want to teleport. I don't want to drive. I want to, like, click my heels and say there's no place like home and go wherever I want.
I just want to be able to, like, go somewhere good for lunch on my lunch break and still make it back on time.
No, I don't want to drive anywhere.
That's the point. I wouldn't have to. I could come home.
Yep, you could. Everyone could. Imagine that.
That'd be so nice.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so nice. Alright, but after that, I read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I think that's how you say her last name. It's a thriller. I need to palette cleanser a little bit. I actually really like that thriller. I gave that a 4-star. I like hers. I've read hers. I've read a few of hers. Yeah, she's one of those authors that has like 1 million books. But I like her writing style. Like, even if they do become like a little predictable, like, she throws enough in that it's still fun.
Yeah, that's fun. I read A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire.
I also read a Halloween book this month.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I read Haunt Your Heart Out.
Not bad. Because, again, it's still, like, a little bit of, like...
Again, they're romances.
They're romances.
But, no, these were, like, distinctly...
Yeah.
Because, like, the cartoony Halloween-y cover, I also did that this month.
That's great. Honestly, mine was just because it came up on Libby and I bought it.
Yeah.
So I had it on my shelf, and by the time like Halloween was over, I was already trying to read some fall books to try to cram in more fall before Christmas books, and so.
Do you like reading seasonal books, or will you just read a book whenever?
I like to read books whenever, but I do like to be in seasonal books. Like in the season, I do want to read those books because it's fun to like. It's like Christmas movies. Like you want to watch them because it's the season.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'll read them whenever. But did you read this one or no? Because I know you've read the other two.
No, I haven't yet.
Again, it wasn't bad. I think I gave it like 4 stars I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but if I would have to say it's like 3.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the series isn't bad, but the series overall to me is like a 3.5, 4 star series. It's fun. It's a good time, but
I get it. Yeah, my stuff's all like out of date, but it's fine.
And then let's see. Next, I was influenced by the internet, aka Instagram, and I read Deviant Hearts. So that's a mafia romance. It wasn't bad, but it was written by a dude. So like,
could you tell?
Yeah, we had to talk about like the thickness a lot.
I know. I have read books written by women that talk about the thickness.
Not that much. Like, I mean, I'm not saying not like a lot, but like I feel like a little bit a lot. But the weird thing though is like these people, they watched each other across the street for a while. He would be nude. I mean, she would at least just
like
change.
Through windows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Windows.
That's different than just people. I picture people
just
on
watching
the side of the street, like at the bus stop.
Yeah, it was like an arranged marriage between like 2 different, like one was Irish and I think the other one was like a Greek mafia. Again, not bad, but I don't think I'm going to continue the series because the only person I'm attached to is like maybe the sister, and that's not whose book's next. So it's not enough for me to care to read the next person's book. So not bad, but I've read better, I think.
I get that. So the next book I actually finished, and then we're gonna be up to like current reads. A Shot in the Dark. So this book is literally an episode of Supernatural. Like the author admits it. It's very well acknowledged. She gave a copy of this book. One of the authors, because it's dual authors. One of the authors gave a copy of this book to Jared Padalecki at a meet and greet. They're 100% based off Sam and Dean. There's a fairy. She's pretty cool. It follows her. And I like that they acknowledge, because she's like a Tinkerbell fairy where she's little. So it's very close to her. I think the most they do is kiss in this book. Because they acknowledge that she's like 2 inches tall, and that would be weird.
That's her whole face.
Yeah. Well, no, they kiss in like another realm where they're the same size.
Oh, okay. I was like,
no.
It's her whole
It's
face.
like they're the same size in this other universe.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was 3 stars because it was fun. Like, it was a good read. Is it something that it's like groundbreaking? No, because it's literally an episode of Supernatural. But I fucking love Supernatural.
I love Dean.
I love Dean too.
Team Dean.
He's
not
with,
that Sam's not bad. But.
She's with Sam though, but I think Dean's gonna get.
Come on, Dean.
I know. We love Dean.
Well, you have to start with Sam. We all started with Sam.
No, I started with Dean.
I mean, I kind of did too. I like Sam for like 3 seconds, and then I was like, oh, that's your brother?
Jeff prefers Dean to Sam as well, from a man's perspective. Also, his favorite is Cass.
My mom, when I introduced her, because I was like, Mom, you will like Supernatural. You should watch it. She's like, that Dean guy? He's good looking, Alicia. I was like, I know, Mom.
Yes, he is.
Jensen Ackles? Call me. So I finished one more book. I finished it. That's the first thing I should say. It finished me, more or less.
But not in the, like, super emotional...
No, like, mentally draining way. So, I watched Outlander, and I absolutely loved Outlander, the show. And I still love the show. And then I found out it was books. And, like, naturally, like all of us do, we gravitate to start reading books. That's what happened with me with Hunger Games, and I started reading Hunger Games. So I started these books, and I did another thing we all do, and, like, buy the series before reading the first book. So my husband bought me both the box sets for, like, my birthday or Christmas gift or something. And I'm on Fiery Cross. It was 1,400 pages. 56 hours of an audiobook.
Well, you have the paperbacks too, right?
Yeah, I have the paperbacks. And the paperbacks, the problem with those is like the text is so small, so it's hard to like look at it to read it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like how like a Bible is printed, of like very small text. So I did the audiobook, and it's just like, it didn't need to be that long, that I feel like too much stuff happened, that it loses like value to things that are happening into the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just can't keep track of everything. Like if I kept a notepad on that, oh my gosh, I'd cry. I would cry. My memory on my phone would probably be taken up. Mm-hmm. Which, kudos to her, because like her next book, the next one in the series, is just as long, which yes, I will be continuing the series because I own the books and I feel like I should try to continue it, but it's something that I need to take a break from.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I need a break from it. So what are you currently reading right now?
My current read, so my Kindle read, which is like my physical read, because we all know I don't like real books. I like them as trophies. My eyeballs hurt when I look at them, and my wrist hurt holding them open. But it's collect the pieces. You know how I keep telling you about that biker romance series that I love that's like insanely long? Yeah, it's book 25 for it.
Oh yeah, you were saying that one last time I was here. It was coming out.
But it's like literally such a comfort read for me. Like just going back into that universe, I'm like, I don't even need to reread the last book. I just know everything already. I love this. It really is. It's like, oh my god, my friends.
I miss you.
But yeah, so I'm reading that right now, and the next book comes out in July, which I love. I get so many of these a year. Like they just makes me happy, takes me back. Like and they always come out at like the perfect time. So yeah, listening to 2 audiobooks right now. So Reign of Shadows and Endings. I've been seeing it on like Instagram and Book Talk a little bit more, and like the second and third are on Hoopla. I don't know why the first wasn't, but I got it on Libby.
Butcher, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But I'm listening to that right now, and like I kind of like it. Again, she's very whiny, and you know how I feel when you're being too whiny. And then the other one is Beautiful Villain, which I have the physical copy of as well. And that one, it is the Great Gatsby retelling with like magic. I think they're hinting that Gatsby might be a vampire, and like I'm kind of here for it. I miss the vampire retellings of classics. Do you remember that era?
Yeah.
The Vampire in Wuthering Heights. Do you remember that one?
Mm-mm.
The Vampire Wuthering Heights. I remember that. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, but I remember that.
I should read The Great Gatsby, so that way when we record next,
we can compare and contrast.
Because we were going to do that of like comparing like a retelling on like a classic. And Great Gatsby is probably one of my favorite books of all time. I just love it. And it's like one of the books I actually enjoyed from school.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't enjoy a lot, because I liked like The Giver. To Kill a Mockingbird really wasn't my favorite.
I can respect To Kill a Mockingbird more now, like at my age, than I think I did back then. But also, we're probably closer to Atticus's age at this point. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, we can look at that and be like, oh, yeah, that's why this was important.
Because I can barely remember that book, because, like, I just didn't like it then. Where I want to, like, pick it up, but then sometimes when I do that with classics, I realize that I don't like them as much. But I think I'm eventually going to, just because, like, it's funny. My last name is Finch. I have a nephew named Atticus.
Yeah.
So, not spelled the same. My sister was unique.
I feel like especially our generation's problem with like reading classics is we have so much of what we want at our fingertips, and it's written in how most of like of the vernacular we all speak essentially. Like yes, it's written in proper English, like grammar wise and everything.
Yeah.
But the slang, the way they speak to each other is more reminiscent of how we would speak to each other rather than reading a classic, which like they're talking to appear in a completely different way than we'd ever think to.
Yeah, like their dialect is just different.
Yeah,
like how
so like I feel like that's what really takes a lot of like, not that people don't respect the classics anymore, but it's just like
it's hard to get into them as much as you can with other books.
Yeah.
Yep, I would agree.
And like it's hard to understand them too. Like trying to explain like, no, like you would meet somebody and like take your hat off and shake their hand and like be really respectful, like even if it was like your best friend's cousin or something, like you don't, that's still like a formal introduction. You don't know that person, where like nowadays you'd just be like, yo,
what's up, dude? Yep. So I am currently doing the audiobook of Bow Before the Elf Queen, which I've read that book before. I bought the box set recently, and the fan art and all that made me want to read it again, and I had it on a Libby loan, so I was like, let's do it. And truthfully, I've been wanting to start a cowboy romance, but Alicia is hoping that she is lucky this month. Please cross your fingers, because maybe when you watch this, it'll be like 2 hours from when my choice might get picked. And I made this cute little box for us to pick choices out of tomorrow.
That's really fun.
It looks like a little sweet tart box.
So cute.
And I made it out of a book box.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's all cute. Like, I bedazzled it and stuff, but I was just bored, and I was listening to an audiobook, and I was in a crafty mood one night, and I was like, I'm going to make this look like all the girls are doing on the internet for their outside doors, and make it like book edition. I really want a cowboy romance, because if not, I was going to start off to the races.
I may put one as well in.
But
I may put one in as well.
If not, I'm going to read Off to the Races, I think, next, just because I have that physical book.
Well, because, like, I want to read Cash, and it's a Lucky River Ranch book.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it!
We're just going to put in cowboy romances until we get a cowboy romance.
Yeah.
We've tried that so many times. We have put in the same book so many times just wanting to read the book, which is why we started this podcast. Because we were sick and tired of not reading the books that we wanted to read together so we could yap.
So we could yap. Not that we don't yap on our... Well, we used to yap more on our Snapchats, but we try not to yap as much so that way we can yap in front of this camera instead. But, yeah. Ooh, also, if you guys have, like, good recommendations for our book club, let us know.
Yeah. Like, books that are good to, like, discuss, too.
I really want to do the one... Maybe we can talk about if we want to do it for the next book club. Our one friends that we met, they did this, like, cookbook book club.
I feel like that's either going to be like a summer or fall thing.
Ooh, you want to know? Oh, I already told you about it. Well, I'll tell the camera. I want to do, you know how everyone does beer Olympics? I want to do book Olympics this year.
I gave you my idea of a game, of a event.
So I'm gonna have that as like I want to host because I can host easier in the summer. My yard's bigger, my apartment's small.
If I move back into Kevin's, we got fucking acres, dude. Acres.
Okay, space. We're not doing the three-legged race that far, but
we could.
We could, but
also the ground is uneven, and somebody'd probably break their ankle.
Yeah,
probably
No.
Every time I try to run in my dad's yard, I end up falling flat on my face. It has happened at least 3 times at Beer Olympics.
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah. So, what is your Goodreads book book count for the year so far? Then.
Oh, my book count for the year. Let me see.
I'm at 14 out of 105, so I was slacking.
17 out of 85.
Nice, not bad.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
I'm trying.
Yeah, this month I definitely feel like I've picked up a little bit of pace. Outlander, that book threw me behind, but other than that, I mean...
I feel like February just always kicks my butt. Like, I don't remember ever having a good February. No. February I feel like is fluff for me because it's just like fun to read romances, and like romance books you can like crush. Yeah, well, like that's fine, but like I just like life just gets heavy for February. I don't know why. I think it's just like the seasonal depression is like really seasonal depressioning. Yeah. And like I have that little like carrot of spring's almost here, like the sun's gonna be out, and then it hasn't. Yep. Like today I thought it was gonna be like 40 most of today because that's what it was when I woke up. So I had my like little Carhartt jacket and I had my cute little Vans with the little sunflowers on. I'm like, it's almost spring, and then it starts snowing and I'm like, not spring. Not spring at all. Also, I was then dressed inappropriately because I was not prepared for the weather. That's unfortunate. I'm going to try next month too. I want to get the next Harry Potter book read. Yeah. So I want to read Manacled. I'm reading Harry Potter to read Manacled. That's why I'm reading Harry Potter. And not that like I have anything against Harry Potter. I've just never been a Potterhead. Yeah. I watched it a little bit because like my brother read Harry Potter. But I just want to read Manacled. That's fine. Not that I know you could read Manacled, but I think it has more value if you read Harry Potter. If you understand it, yeah. So, but the problem is I get too passionate and I care too much about my fellow characters that I'm reading. So my boy Harry just gets dog walked. You get very annoyed with how he gets treated. He gets so dog walked. It makes me so upset. It's like I was actually talking to someone about this at work about like young adult books. I said, honestly, read Percy Jackson. Not that he doesn't get dog walked, but like not as bad as Harry Potter. Harry Potter's just like... Percy at least had like one person in the world he knew cared about him. Yeah. Harry has maybe one. Well, after he starts going to school but like before he went, like Percy always had his mom. Mm-hmm. It just like, it's hard for me to read it because I'm just like,
right now he like told his uncle like, oh yeah, Septimus is like my uncle or whatever. I'm like, yeah,
Serious.
Yeah, I was like, stick it to him.
Septimus is a
From what
Transformers.
Serpents. Well, that and Serpents of the Wings at Night. That's from that one too. I think.
Oh, I was thinking Transformers.
No, I never watched Transformers.
Oh.
I mean, I watched it a little bit because Megan Fox was in the one, but that's about it.
No, I get that. I have been seeing a lot of my feed has like finally been justice for Crescent City, where people are like finally being, who's my favorite SJM would? Bryce, because she's relatable. Like she's the only one who is actually relatable.
Yep.
And not just like an idealized version of yourself in your mind.
Yeah. Like she goes through her own like body image struggles for it. She has her own mental struggles that she's going for it, and yeah.
And it's not all altruistic. She's like selfish sometimes. She's like, I just want this.
Yep.
This is just because I want to. Understand.
Maybe I'll eventually reread Crescent City.
I love Crescent City. I think about it a lot. I think about Crescent City almost as much as I think about Thread of Glass.
Think about the Shatter Me series, probably about that much.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited. The new book of that's coming out this year. Which I technically pre-ordered that last year, so that doesn't count for my 2-book purchase of the month. I was good. I was at the store yesterday and didn't buy a book.
Wow. You wanted to go to Bookworm today for the episode.
I did, because I figured we talked about one episode we want to do is like go around to like local bookstores.
I want to go to Afterglow.
Yeah, we're going to go to Afterglow. That'll be fun. But we should go when it's not like poopy weather. Not that it was like really bad today, but like, because we will have to park on the side of the road. Because there's not a parking lot.
I was thinking for cute outfits, but okay.
Well, that too. So that way we're not like walking in the snow to like, we at least look cute in the episode. But she's a little doll. I like her. I like her a lot. But yeah, eventually we'll do that. We have like a couple fun ideas that we're going to try out and see. And if you guys don't, follow our Instagram. Share our Instagram to your friends. Like this episode. Share this episode. That'd be cool. But yeah, that helps with the algorithm, they say.
If we get 100 people, I'll leak the recipe.
Ooh.
Because this is not the first time we've had this on air.
No, it's not. And
it won't be the last.
No, because being a vegetarian, it's a good way for me to eat a lot of protein.
I just don't eat vegetables. So it's a good way to make me eat vegetables.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
We balance each other out.
Yeah. We do. Tall, short, meat, veggies, mocktails, cocktails.
Yeah.
We balance. It's like the little yin and yang here.
Yeah.
She has a lot of hair. I have no hair.
I might be changing my hair soon too.
Yeah?
Bean, are you scratching?
Well, I think she just wants to be picked up again. Do you want to end the episode with us? Because we're probably going to end it soon.
All right.
Thank you for yapping with us today. It's been a slice. Bye-bye.
Bean, say goodbye, friends.
Okay.
Bye, Bean.
Bye.